Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Mixed Mowers. In today's episode we're going to take a little look at a little Hayter Harrier 41 that came in just yesterday. Story behind this one was I bought a lawnmower, a Ransom Marquis Mark 5 off of a gentleman off of eBay. He's then got back hold of me a week later to say that his lawnmower is not running. He's seen my channel and said, is there something you can do? It's gone into a lawnmower shop, it's come back out running worse than what it went in. But we'll look at that. It's got his new pull cord, these bits and pieces there, so it's a little bit of a service. And we'll have a look at that anyway, that's not a problem. If this is your first time in watching Mixed Mowers, hit the old subscribe button, whack the old bell and set your notifications to all. That way you'll be told one, I'm on a video, or two, on my Saturday night weekly live stream, which starts at 6 PM UK time. On top of that, got a lovely big parcel today. Just come through the post when I got out of bed from my old night shift. Come downstairs and there's a parcel, and Mrs. P said, that's for you. I had no idea, hadn't ordered anything, and it turns out this is from my good friends over at Pro Parts Direct. They got in contact with me a little while ago. So they'd like to sponsor my channel and send me some goodies off and on to trial and sort of do a bit of self-promotion for them and trying to help me on my journey as well, which is fantastic. So I've got a nice little letter from them, pretty much saying what I just said, that they want to help me out with if and where they can and send me some bits and pieces from time to time, so that's cool. So go check out Pro Parts Direct over in America. They do a catalogue as well, which is kind of cool. No doubt you can get this. This is a Spring 2020 catalogue. And they do everything, pretty much, you name it, they do it. So oils, ride-on stuff, air filters, fuel filters, PPE, chainsaw stuff, ride-on tyres, grass bags, fans, pulleys, pumps, and pretty much, you name it, Pro Parts Direct will do it. So get hold of them, let them know that Mixed Mowers has sent you down there, and you might get a little cut of dollars off, maybe, have a little look, so that's cool. They have sent me quite a substantial parcel, and I was not expecting it, so that's fantastic. The first product they sent me is a Modec. Modec, so slick, grass won't stick. So you spray this to the underside of a clean deck, and then you keep spraying this stuff onto it, and eventually it reduces the amount of grass that sticks to your deck. Okay, so maybe try that out, give it a go. We'll give it a go, see what it's like. Maybe we'll try it with El Hayter, see how that performs, but give it a go. They've sent me some air filters, the old Briggs & Stratton ones, and they also fit in the Hondas too, that's cool. They've also sent me a grass buster. Now I have one of these already in my arsenal. These are brilliant scrapers because they're rounded, you can actually get around the deck and have a bit of a tie up. These are good, okay, so check them out. They're called Grass Busters. Yeah, they are Grass Buster, they're fantastic. I use them a lot. They sent me 2 or 3 of them, and they also sent me, which I've already got, carburetor tuners. That's my own set, and they've sent me this other set as well. Comes in a nice little case of carburetor tuners, so that's fantastic. So that's cool. I may do a little giveaway with these because I've already got a Grass Buster and I've already got my own carburetor set already here. So I'm not going to need 2 sets. So I'll pass it on. They sent me loads of other bits and pieces. They've sent me, let me dig out some of these bits and pieces here. They've sent me a load of spark plugs. These are Champions, and these are the J19LMs, which I use. They're cool. Don't often use a Champion version, but we'll give them a go. They've sent me some inline filters as well. They're one-way ones. They've also sent me some, I think these are for chainsaws, I think. These are the Tiddlers, yeah. These are the CJY6s. They sent me 3 or 4 of them, which is brilliant. They've also sent me a load of chainsaw filters and a load of, which look on like ride-on ones to me, possibly disc saws as well. They use that sort of style filter as well, so that's cool. They sent me all of that. So I've got reams and reams and reams of stuff, which is brilliant. They also sent me a little tiny one of these little sort of envelopes, and in there I've got a couple of the Pro Parts Direct. The right parts, the right price every time. Bumper sticker, that'll go on the old wagon. And then on top of that, there must be in with Terrell. They sent me a Grass Rats Garage, there's your dinner sticker. And they also sent me one of these, I don't know what these are called, I've got no idea what these are called, these things, these covers. I expect we have a name over in America, we don't use them over here. This has got Slippers, Terrell and Junior on it. Terrell fixes it all on YouTube, so that's some of Terrell's merchandise there, so I've got one of those as well. Worked a treat. Good. So, as I say, this video has been sponsored by my good friends over at Pro Parts Direct. Go and check them out. So without further ado, let's check out this Hayter Harrier 41 that's got a bit of an issue starting and running. Right, and here's the old Hayter Harrier 41 on the bench. Let me get my new tool trolley in. I like using this trolley so I can put all my spare parts on it. That comes from my old subscriber, Tommy. He purchases for me off of my old Amazon wish list. So feel free to check that out. It does help towards all my channel content. I put my little Halford set in here. Just for easy access, and it's just handy to have my tools to my right and my trolley to my left, and then I can just start taking bits apart as I need it and put tools where exactly I need it and project. It just keeps everything in place, which is cool. Eventually I will be working down the far end of the shed once I get a bit sorted out in here. Probably in the winter time I'll sort it all out, because at the moment summertime's here and I'm doing lots. So I want a couple of tools. I want a flat-headed driver would be good, because I've got to do a pull cord change first. This pull cord, he said he didn't want a pull cord change originally. I tried to start it and it all started to fray and go a bit peculiar on me. So I need to take this little cover off. That's why I like this little tool cart, because I can literally just throw the bits and pieces in there. I'll cut that, and I'm going to try and just... Oh, I don't want to lose that if I can help it. Let me put something on there, just so I don't lose it. I'll do a little clovitch on there, just so I don't lose it, because it's sprung. Two little tiny loops, one on top of the other. It takes me back to my boating days. Stick that in there, pull that tight. I ain't going nowhere. Little tiny 8mm on there. Just start to remove some of these bits and pieces. So this machine, I've had it running. When he first brought it to me, he said it wasn't actually running. Couldn't get it to start. And right in front of him, I actually managed to start it, which is not something I tend to do. I like to try and do it myself when I'm in my shop, but I actually got it started. And he said, well, I didn't do that this morning for me, so. Air filter is well and truly beyond. Now I'm a bit not concerned, but he says this came from another lawnmower shop, and I don't think another lawnmower shop would leave that air filter in, but it looks like they have done. I want to remove the pull cord, so I'm going to get me impact gun up the top. I use the old D-Waters, you know, which is a fantastic little bit of kit, one of my best purchases ever purchased. And I'll take off. Make sure it's not on the number 3 settings, on number 2. Take these off. There should be 2 or 3 of them. One there, one there. One there. Get my forceps. Because I always lose these little tiny ones. That's that. Should have one here as well, which is on the throttle. This carburetor's gonna have to come off anyway to be cleaned, because it's not running as it should do. I want to set it to choke properly when we've got the chance to actually now come off. Carburetor will be coming off. Throttle arm all works. I want to get a decent set of pliers, and I will remove the fuel from this machine, because I want to see what sort of fuel is running in it. So we'll take this off first, and with no fuel in the machine, we'll be able to tell what the score is. Mind the old gasket. Right, set of forceps to block the old fuel line off. That one, these Briggs and Stratton fuel lines, the Quantum ones, are quite a bit thicker. Got these welders clamps, they're quite good. I've got another set, I think, on another machine at the moment. not too mad because some of these fuel lines are a bit perished and a bit cracked, like that one is there. It's only the outer sleeve that's cracked. So I'm going to now remove this fuel line off this carburetor, take the clamp off, and slowly ease the fuel line off. It's broken its seal. Take that off of there. Grab my old pint glass. And let's take some fuel out of there, see what we're looking at. Fuel looks relatively good. Got nearly a full tank in here, so I can take most of this lot. And what I should do is I should drain all the fuel out and then put this through a screen, through a filter, to make sure that no crud gets back into it. So a 10mm bolt right at the back underneath the tank. Maybe a little tiny spacer in there as well, I don't want to lose that. Plastic spacer, that comes out with it. Take that off. And then we can then just remove and tip back this fuel tank. That can come right out because it's been disconnected. We've got a bit of a clean to do behind here as well. Lots of grass behind here. These haters are renowned for this, especially the older ones. Bit of rag. Hi, Riley boy. Hey? You want a big kiss? You can have a big kiss, of course you can. Here's my little Riley boy, he's come on in. You want to smooch her with the old man, do you?
Yeah.
It's YouTube. Say hi, buddy.
Hi, Daddy.
I want to remove this, might have to come off first, the old throttle assembly. That's now off then. And we can now thread a new pull cord on that. This wants a complete blow off of an air compressor. I may do it outside because it is particularly dirty. The pull cord on here is absolutely had it. I don't think I can actually get that pull cord to come out of there now. It's just there where it's starting to knot up. If I can get that pull cord to come out, then we'll be on a bit of a winner, but I don't think it is. So I may have to cut this and respring it, which is a shame. I'd like it to come out if I can get it. Let me get a pair of forceps on it. There's a little tiny metal tab just here, which I'm just going to try and tease up, and it will give us a bit more access without snapping it off, of course. There it goes. And that gives us a bit better access to the pull cord. There it is. Let's bring it back out this way. This is a bit fiddly, but all the pull cord is done. So with that now, we can now get that little screwdriver thing I had, and we can now wedge that shut. So now it isn't going anywhere. And we can now retrieve this pull cord out of its little tiny home. There it is. Cool. I'll have to cut this pull cord is just stretched beyond belief. It doesn't want to come through the hole. That's better. Right, that's out of the way. Let me get rid of that off of there. Right, now I'm going to recoil this all the way up to where it should be, which is not far from where it is now. It was on the verge of snapping. And I'll line this up with the hole, which is going to be there. And I'll wedge that shut, just find a decent place to put it where it lines up, so that's cool. So let me get a new bit of pull cord, which I have to hand. Let's check the end of it out. Not been burnt yet. Let's just fray the end of that up. I'll burn the end up. Like so. I want to re-thread this through the hole, and it comes through there. little set of forceps. Oh, we're losing tools today. Nice sort of knot on there. Go a bit lower than that actually. Like that. Pull that back through. Tuck all that in. That's out of the way. Remove little screwdriver and let that recoil back in. Unfeed the new pull cord until it goes slack. And then we want to leave about an extra 2.5, 3 foot on here, so that's when it's going to stop naturally. And I want to leave about 2 foot, because this has got the handle up to the top, so that should be more than enough there. Which is good. That's the pull cord now done, apart from just the end piece, which I have to locate, which should be up the top of the machine. Still hanging on for dear life up here. Here it is. Another pair of forceps again. These forceps are, you've got to get yourself a pair. If you haven't got a pair of forceps, get yourself a pair. Because they clamp on and you can just get what you need out of the machine to do bits and pieces. Let me get a stronger set. You can now get hold of this string, clamp it off, and with a bit of wiggling and whatever, a bit of jiggery pokery, you can get that out. There you go. I'm just going to put a new end on here. Thread that through, put a bit of a bend in it if you can. Thread that through. Eventually, if you keep twisting it, it will just go around that corner. It's getting there. There it comes. Forceps. So, pull that through, just tie a knot anywhere in there because we're going to come back to that just to tie that off later on. So that's the pull cord now all done, finished off. We can now concentrate on the actual engine itself. We're going to do the carburetor next, I think. Have a little look at that. That should be a 10 on there. To remove the carburetor. That one there, and one up in there. That one, and that one. Tip the old carburetor over, around, and then we'll put it on the bench and we'll have a look, see what this carburetor is doing. I've got my suspicion it's going to be quite dirty, so we'll have a little look. Right, carby's here. Let's get a 1/2 inch on a drive. And then we'll take this this bottom bowl off. And I'm hoping this carburetor is going to respond quite well because they don't always. Let's see what we get in the bottom of here. I've got to try and tip the bowl up on its side. That way you lose the fuel, but generally you keep the crud. Quite well in there. So I'm not really 100% sure what these fellas actually did to it in this other lawnmower shop. So we've got a few bits in there floating about. There's a big bit there, whatever that is. Big bits. We've got the main jet, which is clear, but that I want to push him through. You got your pin, you got your float, you got your needle, and that's pretty much it on these. There's not a lot else comes apart. You got a little tiny jet here, which I'm going to take off. Let me give that a bit of a clean with some WD. I think this can's out. Nearly. I get a little brush on that just to clean that up. I've got some more WD here somewhere. I'll never run out of WD. I'll take this one out. That's got some in. Let me get rid of that. One's gone. That's dead. Let me put a straw in this one. I've got another new bottle as well beside me. Let's give that a clean. That's better. I want a little screwdriver to remove this. Now this is currently set at around about 1/4 That's a little bit too thick, that screwdriver, for what I want. Just give me that cookie there. It's roughly 1/4 So I'm going to wind this all the way in. That's one turn. Just under 1 3/4 turns. Take that out. I'm going to give that a clean as well through there. That's running lovely. Back through there. I'm going to compress this out as well with an air compressor. That's running through there, through the inlet, back through. It finds the seat. Okay, cut the holes in here, in particular through this one, which is coming out through there. And through there. I think that was a blank, that one. I'm wrong. They're all running all right. But it may just be a bit of crud, you know, just over time, just the carburetor just gets bunged up. One just there as well somewhere. Just got to run. There's one there. And that's it. So I'm going to give that a compress off, give it a clean, reassemble it, and then I'll clean the main jet out as well, which I do in my files. You've seen me do that before. I'm going to compress it all off, and then we're going to refit it and try and start it. Now, if it doesn't run, then it go back in, it go into the cleaner. I'm hoping to get away with not using the cleaner today, if I can. I'll clean the bowl out, all that sort of good stuff, and I'll come back. So when you come back, you'll find it back on the machine, all reassembled with the pull cord. And we'll go for a fire up. Now, bear in mind, this is not a service, this is a running repair, but we'll be adding new air filters to it because it's going to have to suck in the right amount of air for me to run the machine properly. So some of the reason is the air filter on a machine is absolutely well past its sell-by date. And I've got one of those new filters from Pro Parts Direct, which I shall be putting in there, so that's cool. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so now the tank's all on, all dipsticks on, all bolted down, new pull cord is done, as I say. Carburetor's now on. There's 2 springs to worry about on these. The main throttle spring here, which should be done via your throttle control. There's a little tiny spring that sits just on the back of the choke, and when the choke is activated, you'll see the flap will close in that position. As it comes over, you'll see it close like so. That needs to be in position. If it's not in position, it won't work right, and the machine won't choke. So that needs to be set. We can now set the choke on this machine. I'd like to do that now. And what we want to do is set the machine to choke on the lever up the top, and then push this all the way over. And there's a bit of a bend in that wire. I'm not too keen on that. Let's try and make it a bit more of a straight travel. And then set this to choke as far over as we can, so that the flap is closed. This is set to choke, and it's set to choke up the top. It's quite important that's all done. If it's not set to choke up the top, then your machine is just not going to choke properly, so make sure that is as it should be. Right, here it is. I've done the oil as well, checked the oil out, fuel in, reset the choke, no leaks. Let's give it a run. Hater Harrier 41 now all done and dusted. It runs sweet as a nut. It runs exactly how it should do. Not quite sure why the company that looked at it perhaps couldn't get it to run sweet, but it's not no biggie. No idea. I'm not here to speculate, as I say. But that all runs and does it should do, which is fantastic. We did a new pull cord. We did the new air filter and spark plugs, which were given to me free from my good friends over at Pro Parts Direct, and you can check them out at www.propartsdirect.net. Go and check them out. So yeah, I'm super happy, and hopefully I'll give this gentleman a quick ring. He's on. He's not been furloughed because of the old corona, and he's a bit low on cash and what have you. Want done on the cheap, so it's done super cheap because the parts cost me nothing, and I shan't charge him for them filters or spark plugs either. So they're given to me, so I can give them to somebody else. So super cool. If you enjoy this video, give it a big thumbs up. Helps towards the growth of my channel, and don't forget to hit the old subscribe button or whack the old bell and set notifications to all. That way you'll be told that one, I've done a video, or two, I'm on my Saturday night weekly live stream, which starts at 6 PM UK time. I hope you did enjoy this. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, positive or negative. I don't really mind. I'll try and answer all the comments as best as I can. I look forward to seeing you next episode of Mixed Mowers very, very soon. But until then, people, don't forget, more importantly, take it easy.